Rebecca, Marnie says, pursing her lips. Dawn fills up a plate as she tries to form words. What the actual fuck is wrong with you? She slams the counter. What made you think you can go for Dawn like that? You're disgusting and trying to make me jealous. It's not going to happen, Marnie shrieks, her anger taking control of her emotions. Rebecca scowls at Marnie's accusations, her own anger flaring. You think this is about you? She snaps back, her voice rising. This has nothing to do with you. And for your information, I do like Don. He's amazing, and I want him. I deserve him. She takes a defiant gulp of her vodka, her eyes narrowing. Stop being so damn possessive. He's not your property. And that's where you're wrong, Marnie chuckled, feigning ignorance. Don is my property. I'll fuck him right in front of you if I have to. He's not yours. You never claimed him. You got all hurt when he rejected you, remember? Marnie says, hands on her hips. Rebecca's face turns red with anger. She slams her vodka glass on the counter. You think he wants you? You're just a hot mess, Marnie. You're not good enough for him. You're too unstable. He needs someone sane, Rebecca hisses, pointing a finger at Marnie. Someone like me. Christina, Liz, and Cris all step down from the deck and head into the house through the French doors of the living room. They're all intrigued in the battle of the two sisters and want to observe more. They sneak into the house as Rebecca and Marnie are in the midst of their argument, and Dawn is standing there watching it all go down. The three of them stand by the dining room table and write a few things down for Cara's keepsake box, trying to stay distracted as they watch the argument unfold between the two sisters. Marnie scoffs, her eyes flashing with anger. You? Sane? You think you're better than me just because you've got a cleaner track record, huh? Newsflash, Rebecca. Don has stood by me through all of this. You learned what happened to me, and that's when you wanted to mend our relationship. Do you think he'd rather deal with your judgmental, self-righteous ass over me? She takes a step forward, her voice rising. You don't even know the first thing about being honest with yourself. You're a fraud. Rebecca's eyes narrow as she takes a step closer to Marnie. A fraud? At least I don't self-destruct every 5 seconds. All you do is self-destruct. You can't even control your emotions. You can't control your actions. You're a self-destructive mess. Look at you. You're a walking dumpster fire. What man would want that? Her voice is cold, sharp. Don deserves someone stable. Someone who doesn't come with all your baggage.
Ladies, please. There's no reason to fight over me, Don says, sighing. He looks at Rebecca running out and Marnie sitting next to him, fuming in silence. Cara and Michelle pause when they see Rebecca walk outside, throwing her hands into the air. Marnie's a fucking bitch, Rebecca huffed, about to throw up because she couldn't control herself. Michelle raises an eyebrow, surprised at the outburst. Whoa, what happened in there? I saw you and Marnie talking, and then it looked like things got heated. Cara steps forward, hands on her hips. What did Marnie do to set you off like that? You looked like you were ready to throw hands. Rebecca takes a shaky breath, running a hand through her hair. She's completely unhinged. She's acting like she owns Don, like he's her property or something. When I told her I like him, she went off on the deep end, calling me a bunch of names, saying how Don is hers and she'll do whatever it takes to keep him. She shakes her head, her expression a mix of frustration and disbelief. Like, who does that? She's so delusional. Cara shakes her head. Seriously, Rebecca, Don deserves better than a basket case like Marnie. Don't let her get to you. You're way out of her league. Don stands there, watching as Marnie storms off with a mix of frustration and disappointment on her face. He calls after her. Marnie, wait! Look, what happened wasn't okay.
Marnie whirls around, cutting him off. I don't need your pity, okay? I can handle myself just fine. She shoots him a glare, her voice dripping with bitterness. Or is this your way of saying you're on Rebecca's side now? She crosses her arms defensively. Don sighs, running a hand through his hair.
Marnie, it's not about sides, okay? I'm on your side. I always will be. But the way you acted back there was unacceptable. You can't go around insulting Rebecca like that.
Marnie rolls her eyes. Oh, please. You saw how she came after me. She started it. Don pinches the bridge of his nose, growing more frustrated.
That's not the point, Marnie. Just because she came at you doesn't give you the right to lash out. And the way you yelled and cursed, it was not a good look.
Marnie scuffs, clearly still pissed off. Oh, great. Now you're taking her side? Real classy, Don.
I'm not taking her side, Marnie. The truth is, he paused, gathering his thoughts, I like both of you, and I would really like to take both of you out, if you're up for it. However, I'm torn. I don't know if I want you to have authority over me because of our history. You need to understand that I'm no one's property. I'm my own person, Don huffed. Marnie sighed, listening to Don's words. I understand that, Don. I'm sorry if I came off as too possessive. Surely there's a way we could work this out. Marnie stands up from the counter and goes outside to see Rebecca. Hey, she says, coming over to rub her back. I know you're distressed, but we need to talk this out and work through our issues. Don's not worth fighting over, and we both know that, Marnie says sincerely. Rebecca turns to look at Marnie, her face wearing concern. Okay, Marnie, let's head back inside to settle this, she says, rubbing her eyes. Don is at the counter when Cara and Michelle come over to give him a pep talk. He runs a hand through his hair, frustration and exhaustion etched into his features. Cara places a comforting hand on his arm. That was a lot, Don. You okay? Don shakes his head. Not really, he admits frankly. That was like a damn soap opera out there. 2 women fighting over me like I'm some kind of prize, and I'm just stuck in the middle. Feels like I can't win no matter what I do. Michelle chimes in, her voice softer. You can't blame yourself for other people's actions. You've got to do what's right for you, Don. You can't control how 2 women feel about you, but you can control how you respond. Maybe the first step is figuring out what you want, not what they want. Cara nods, her hand still on his arm. She's right. This isn't about pleasing everyone. You have to be honest with yourself, first and foremost. The rest will follow. Cara and Michelle walk away, leaving Don alone to think about his emotions. Marnie and Rebecca walk back inside and are ready to face Don. They sit at the kitchen counter with him and both sigh, getting ready to gather their shared feelings for him. Rebecca breathes deeply and closes her eyes as she gets ready to speak. Don, listen to me. It's no secret that Marnie and I both like you. We're willing to both go out with you, but for a price, she says, looking at Marnie and hoping she will continue. You have to choose between one of us. Now, don't worry. We had a little misunderstanding about being jealous, but we're not going to let one small thing ruin our relationship as sisters. Marnie paused. Don looks between the 2 sisters, his expression a mix of surprise and uncertainty. Choose between you, he says slowly, running a hand through his hair. That's a big ask, you know. I care about both of you. This isn't some simple decision. He looks at them earnestly, his eyes reflecting the weight of the situation. I can't just pick one of you like your items on a menu. I care about you both deeply. The thought of hurting either one of you. He trails off, shaking his head. Rebecca and Marnie exchange a glance, realizing this wasn't going to work out the way they wanted it to. We understand that. And if you can't choose between one of us after one date, then it's settled. We won't hurt you if you decide you can't choose, Rebecca nodded. Don takes in their understanding nods, a mixture of relief and sadness crossing his face. Hearing them acknowledge his predicament softens some of the tension in the room. Don leans back against the kitchen counter, his gaze drifting to the ground as he processes their words. Okay, he says quietly. I appreciate your understanding, and your grace. I need to think this through. All of it. My head's spinning right now, to be honest. Don inhales deeply, the weight of the situation sinking in. He feels emotionally exhausted and emotionally drained. After a moment's pause, he turns to Rebecca and Marnie, his expression a mix of exhaustion and regret. I think I should probably head home. I need to think things over, alone. This is all a bit overwhelming right now. He hesitates, then adds, Don't take it personally. Seriously, I need some space to sort through my thoughts. Marnie and Rebecca exchange a glance of understanding. That's all right, Don. You deserve some time to yourself. Go home and relax. We won't be offended, I promise, Marnie nodded. Don nods his thanks, his shoulders slumping as the adrenaline and stress of the situation finally start to wear off. He offers them a small, tired smile. Thank you both, truly. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just need some time to figure out what my heart's saying, you know? He hesitates, then adds, and I hope we can still be friends, regardless of what happens. Don gives Marnie and Rebecca brief hugs and wishes them good night. He heads out to say goodnight to everyone else. Then, he makes his way back inside to say his goodbyes to Michelle and Cara. Thank you for hosting tonight, Michelle. Even though things got out of hand before, I'm still glad I was here to celebrate Cara's surprise party. You did a wonderful job, Michelle. And happy birthday, Cara, Don says with gratitude. Michelle gives Don a warm, understanding smile despite the turbulent evening. You're welcome, Don. Though I wish things had gone a bit smoother for you, I know this was a lot to handle. Cara, standing nearby, nods in agreement. Don't worry about it, Don, she adds with a wink. We've all had our moments here. But we're still friends no matter what, and that's what counts. Don appreciates their understanding responses, feeling a wave of gratitude. He bids them farewell, knowing that he needs the time alone to process everything that happened tonight. Don heads out the front door and onto the driveway. He gets into his car and leaves within seconds, not wanting to think over what just happened. Michelle comes over to Marnie and Rebecca, who are sitting at the kitchen counter. And you know what else? I think it's time for the two of you to go. Marnie, you can see Don another time, preferably when Rebecca isn't in the same room, Michelle says, grabbing Marnie's arm. Let's go. Not on Cara's birthday, please, she says. Marnie begrudgingly allows Michelle to lead her away, shooting Cara one last glare. Fine, whatever. I didn't want to be here anyway, she mumbles. Cara leads Rebecca out the door as well. I'm sorry I have to do this, she says. But I don't need this drama on my birthday, and I definitely don't need to intervene. The two of you need to leave now. You both have caused problems, and it's time to cut the rope, Cara says, opening the door for Marnie and Rebecca. Happy birthday, Cara, Rebecca says before Michelle shuts the door on her face. That was uncalled for, Cara paused. That's one way to kick them out. The party buzzes with an air of relief as everyone comes inside. The drama with Marnie and Rebecca seems to have been forgotten, replaced with the usual lighthearted chatter. Guests mingle, sipping on their drinks and eating snacks as the night slowly winds down. Gionni heads into the kitchen and clears his throat as he gets ready to announce something. All right, everyone, now that we're all inside, it's time to sing happy birthday to my beautiful wife and cut the towering 50 and fabulous cake, Gionni says. Two of Gianni's caterers usher the cake onto the kitchen counter. Gionni places 2 candles on the cake that read 50. He lights the 2 candles and Cara comes over, taking a seat at the counter. The guests come together to surround Cara. They begin to sing happy birthday. Michelle watches from a distance with an expression of awe, happy that everyone was able to come together to celebrate her best friend. As everyone is enjoying their cake, Michelle stands up on a dining room chair, getting ready to announce something else. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you all for coming. I am so grateful for all of you, and as we know, it takes a village to celebrate Cara's birthday. She is loved by many people, and I'm glad we all came together to help surprise her. However, the night is not over yet. In a few minutes, we will be reading the wishes in the keepsake box for Cara's birthday. Afterwards, I have one final surprise planned for the night. Michelle smiles, placing her arms in front of her. The guests all look up at Michelle in anticipation, their eyes wide with curiosity. Gionni raises his glass, grinning at Michelle's announcement. Ooh, a surprise? Do tell us more, he calls out, the others joining in with nods and murmurs of agreement. Cara, however, looks equally curious and slightly concerned, her eyebrow raised in question. A final surprise? Michelle, what on earth are you planning? She asked, her tone mixed with excitement and a hint of trepidation. Michelle grins, holding up a hand to quiet the room. Patience, everyone. All will be revealed in good time. She glances at her watch and then back at the group. But first, let's continue with the keepsake box. Cara, if you could get everyone to gather around, we'll start reading the wishes we all wrote for you. As Cara starts gathering the group, the anticipation in the air is palpable. The guests murmur curiously, wondering what the final surprise could be. Some shoot playful glances at Michelle, eager to see what her plans unfold. Michelle opens the box, revealing dozens of colorful slips of paper inside. All right, let's see what we have here. She starts pulling out the notes, one by one, reading them aloud to the group. Some wishes are heartfelt, others humorous, but all are filled with sincere affection for Cara. Michelle pulls out a pink note, unfolding it with a smile. Here's one from Gionni. To my beautiful wife, may your birthday be as full of laughter and love as our wedding day. Gionni grins, raising his glass in salute. Another one, this one scribbled in blue ink on scrap paper, reads, Cara, you're the queen of our friend group. Keep being fabulous. Love, Liz and Tanya. Cara chuckles, shaking her head playfully. Michelle continues to read, each note filled with kind words and warm wishes from the group. Cara and the group listen intently as Michelle continues reading the notes one by one. Another pink note from Kelly reads, Cara, your kindness is contagious. Cheers to another fabulous year of friendship. XOXO. A yellow note from Carla reads, To my badass friend, keep conquering the world. Love you more than chocolate cake. Almost. Happy birthday, queen. A blue note from Cara's close friend Whitney reads, Happy birthday, Cara. You're like a human ray of sunshine, but with wine. Cheers to another year of causing chaos. Another note, this time in black ink on white paper, reads, Happy birthday, Cara. May your year be filled with laughter, love, and more tequila. Much love, Christina and Cris. The group laughs as Cara pretends to swoon, clutching her chest dramatically. Oh, tequila, my true love. There are a few more notes that Michelle reads aloud from the group. She pulls out another pink piece of paper and reads it aloud. Happy 50th birthday. May your day be filled with joy, laughter, and the love of those around you. Here's to many more years of fun and adventure. Love, Susan and Hillary. Another one reads, Happy 50th, Cara. Thank you for all you do. Here's to many more years of fun hosting events. From Dawn. And finally, there is one more note from Craig and Maria. Wishing you a fantastic 50th birthday filled with love, laughter, and memories of a lifetime. You deserve all the happiness in the world. Michelle, with a mischievous smirk, sets down the box, looking at Cara. That's the last one, but there's one more surprise to come. Michelle grabs her computer and hooks it up to the HDMI cord from the TV.
She opens up a slideshow and Gionni dims the lights. All right, everyone, Michelle says, grabbing everyone's attention. I have a slideshow to present to you all, she announced, and played the slideshow from her and Cara's friendship over the years with music. The slideshow begins displaying a montage of photos and videos from Cara and Michelle's years together. It starts with their early days at SSS filled with school parties and late-night shenanigans. As the slideshow continues, more memories flash by. Girls' nights out, vacations, trips, and random adventures. The group watches in awe, laughing and smiling at the memories captured on screen. Cara grins as images from her birthday celebrations over the years flicker across the screen, her eyes glistening with emotion. The slideshow continues, the music transitions to a more cheerful tone as the images shift to Cara's major life milestones. There are photos of Cara graduating college, starting her first job, moving into her first apartment, and even some glimpses of her previous birthdays. As the slideshow progresses, the group oohs and ahs, impressed by the collection of memories and the story it tells. Cara smiles, feeling a pang of nostalgia as she watches the years pass by. She wipes a few tears from her eyes, but her grin only widens as she takes in the love and effort Michelle put into the slideshow. Cara exhales deeply, her emotions bubbling up as the slideshow finishes. She stands up with a wobbly smile, wiping away the last of her tears. Michelle, that was amazing, she says, her voice thick with emotion. I had no idea you put so much thought into this. You're the best friend a girl could ask for. The group claps, some shouting out their agreement. Gionni grins, giving Michelle a thumbs up.
You outdid yourself, Michelle.
As Michelle is giving her best friend a hug, Gionni rolls out a cart of presents for Cara to open. Cara is in awe to see all of her friends' presents and sits in her armchair getting ready to open them. As she's tearing through paper and gift wrap, she's excited to see everything her friends got her. The room is filled with chatter and excitement as Cara opens each present. There are books, jewelry, gift cards, and thoughtful trinkets, each gift a reflection of her friend's unique connection to her. Some of the gifts are funny, like a World's Best Boss mug from Gionni, while others are sweet and sentimental, like a scrapbook of memories from Michelle. Each present she opens is met with oohs and ahs from the group, followed by laughter and jokes about the gift or person who gave it. Cara's face is beaming with happiness, her heart full of love for her friends. Alright everyone, give me a beat, y'all, Michelle says, smirking as she tries to hold in her laughter. Uh-huh, she starts off the surprise rap. Yo, it's a milestone year. 50 years shining, let's make that clear. Been through the highs, survived the lows, still standing strong, yeah, that's how it goes. Michelle chuckled as Gionni continued the lyrics. 50 and fabulous, bold and free, living the life stacking memories. Raise that glass, toast it high, best friend forever, ride or die. The guests continued the surprise rap as Michelle nodded her head to the beat. Wisdom deep, but the vibe stays strong. Still got the group still having fun. From late night talks to trips we planned. Every moment golden like pure gold bands. Everyone together began to join in on singing the lyrics. So here's to you, cheers all around. With love and laughs we hold it down. The best ain't over, it's just begun. Let's make 50 years look like number one. Michelle single-handedly sings the last part of the song. 50 candles, blow 'em out. Make a wish, no room for doubt. Best friend status forever true. This rap's a gift just for you. As they finish the rap, the guests clap together to honor their friend Cara. Cara is in absolute awe as the rap comes to an end. She claps her hands together, a mix of disbelief and sheer joy on her face. She stands up, still clapping, and shakes her head, beaming. Oh my god, she says, her voice filled with genuine awe. That was... wow! You guys, I don't even have words. Cara smiles, shaking her head as the group's laughter settles down. She looks over at Michelle, her eyes shining with affection. You really outdid yourself tonight, Michelle. That rap was, well, it was something else, she grins. But seriously, Cara continues, her tone growing slightly more serious. All this, the keepsake box, the slideshow, the rap, all of it. It means the world to me. I feel so loved, and I'm so grateful to all of you for making this night so special. Michelle smiles graciously and takes a deep breath before she spoke. Alright everyone, this concludes the end of Cara's surprise party. Thank you all so much for coming and helping me celebrate Cara's special day, she says. The guests cheer, some clapping and others whistling in approval. Gionni stands up, joining Michelle at the front. That was brilliant, Michelle, he says, wrapping his arm around her. Cara grins, still reeling in from the night's events. She looks around the room, taking in the joyful atmosphere and all the kind faces. Thank you all so much, she says, her voice full of genuine gratitude. This has been the best birthday I've ever had. The guests get ready to leave, each of them saying their goodbyes to Cara and wishing her happy birthday one last time. Cris says goodbye to everyone, including Cara, and heads back into the pool house to go relax. Kelly, Whitney, and Rachel are the first ones to leave. They tell everyone goodbye, exchanging waves and small hugs. They thank Michelle for organizing this surprise party and thank her for including them. "Happy birthday, Cara," Kelly calls out as the girls walk out of the door. Gianni's friends, Pete, Richard, Anthony, and Joe, are next to leave. They thank Michelle and Gionni for hosting the party and wish Cara a happy birthday as they walk out. Carla, Carole, Tom, and Brad exchange their goodbyes to everyone and each give Cara a small hug of gratitude. "Happy birthday, Cara," Carla called out. "Hope you've enjoyed your special day," Brad waves. "This was definitely a party to remember. Michelle did an amazing job," Carole complimented, rubbing Michelle's back. Cara thanked them for coming and helping Michelle surprise her. She waves to them as they walked out. Craig and Maria, Susan and Hillary are all next to leave. They say goodbye to the remaining guests. Christina and Bill, Liz and Michael, Jorge, Tanya and Nicole. They thank Michelle and Gionni for inviting them as it was a night to remember. They wish Cara a happy birthday as they exit through the front door. "Have a good night, guys. Thank you for coming," Cara waves out to them. Christina and Bill leave next, hugging and kissing everyone in a small circle as they got ready to leave. "Have a good night, Cara. Hope you enjoyed your birthday, baby girl," Christina calls out, slurring her words a bit as she grabbed onto her husband's arm. "Happy birthday, Cara," Bill waved. "Thank you, Christina and Bill. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Have a good night," she waved. Liz and Michael are getting ready to go. Michael says goodbye to Gionni and Jorge. He thanks Michelle for the invite and says that they had a lovely time. Everything was organized and prepared so well. Liz thanks Michelle for a wonderful night and says she did a great job hosting the event. "Thank you guys so much for coming." Michelle smiles and waves as the two of them walked out. "Bye, guys," Cara waves. Tanya and Nicole are second to last to leave. They wave goodbye to Gionni, Jorge, Michelle, and Cara. "Thank you so much for inviting us, Michelle. We had a fun night," Nicole says, giving her a hug. Tanya also hugs Michelle, Gionni, and Cara. "Happy birthday, Cara," she says, smiling widely. The two of them head out the door after they say their goodbyes. Jorge says goodbye to Cara, Gionni, and Michelle. "Ah, this was a lovely night. Thank you so much for inviting me, my love," Jorge says, kissing the top of Michelle's head. "You're welcome, babe," Michelle says, squeezing his hand. "I'm so glad you came," she smiled. "Ah, have a good night, eh? Happy birthday, Cara," he waves to her. "I'll see you soon, Jorge." Michelle gives him one last hug before he exits. She walks him out, leading him down the driveway, and the two of them exchange another kiss before he gets into the car. Meanwhile, Cara is in the living room, resting on her armchair as she thinks about how grateful she is to have such amazing friends and a best friend who is always there for her. She sighs deeply and closes her eyes, thinking about her long-lasting friendship with Michelle. Michelle comes over to Cara and wishes her a good night as she sees herself out. "I hope you had a good birthday, Cara," she says softly, rubbing her back. She smiles and stands up to give Cara a hug. Cara embraces Michelle's hug, breathing in the comforting scent of her best friend. They hold the embrace for a moment, their arms wrapped around each other in a way only two people have known and loved each other for so long can.